Hey everybody, welcome to Relax History. Thank you for stopping by, and today we will be taking a look through the pages of history by learning about the Roman Empire. Not all the glory bits, but the day-to-day lives of normal people like you and I. Nearly 2,000 years ago, at the height of its power, Rome stood as the center of the known world. Stretching across 3 continents, the Roman Empire governed millions of people, connected dissonant cultures, and commanded some of the most powerful armies in history. Yet beyond the emperors, generals, and famous battles that fill the pages of history books, there existed another story. It was the story of ordinary life. The story of bakers rising before dawn to prepare fresh bread, merchants opening their stalls in crowded marketplaces, and families who formed the beating heart of the ancient world. Tonight, we will step away from the grand monuments and political intrigue and explore what daily life was truly like for the people who called ancient Rome home. As the first light of dawn begins to appear over the city, Rome slowly awakens. The year is approximately 100. Under the rule of Emperor Trajan, the Roman Empire has reached one of the greatest periods of prosperity in its history. Roads connect distant provinces from Britain to the Middle East. Trade flows across the Mediterranean Sea. Wealth from every corner of the empire arrives in the capital. The city itself is enormous. Historians estimate that more than 1 million people may have lived within Rome during its peak, making it one of the largest cities on Earth. Long before sunrise, the city is already stirring. In the bakeries scattered throughout Rome, workers begin preparing the day's bread. Ovens glow in the darkness. The smell of fresh dough and wood smoke drifts into the streets. Nearby, merchants prepare their goods for market. Wagons carrying grain, olive oil, wine, pottery, and vegetables slowly make their way toward the city center. For most Romans, the day begins early. Without electric lights, daily life follows the rhythm of the sun. People rise shortly after dawn and complete most of their work before darkness returns. As sunlight spreads across the rooftops, the sounds of the city grow louder. Vendors call out to potential customers. Animals pull carts through narrow streets. Neighbors exchange greetings. The greatest city of the ancient world is awake. For wealthy Romans, the morning may begin in a spacious villa decorated with colorful mosaics and painted walls. For the poor, life is very different. Many families live in crowded apartment buildings known as insulators. These structures can rise several stories high and often house dozens of families at once. The lower floors are generally safer and more desirable. The upper levels are cheaper and more dangerous. Fires are common. Building collapses are not unheard of. Water must often be carried up multiple flights of stairs. Space is limited and privacy is rare. Despite these challenges, the insulae allow thousands of people to live within the crowded city. A typical apartment may consist of only 1 or 2 small rooms. Entire families eat, sleep, and work within the same limited space. Yet, even under such conditions, communities form, neighbors know one another, children play together, families share stories, meals, and daily routines. The experience of life in Rome is shaped not only by wealth and status, but also by the relationships that connect people to their communities. For wealthy Romans, the morning may begin in a spacious villa decorated with colorful mosaics and painted walls. Visitors entering such a home may find beautiful courtyards, fountains, and decorative artwork. Some wealthy Romans employ servants to cook meals, clean rooms, manage finances, and educate children. Yet these privileged citizens represent only a small portion of Rome's population. Most Romans live far more modest lives. Across the city, towering apartment buildings known as insulae house the majority of the population. From a distance, these buildings may appear impressive. Up close, many reveal serious problems. Construction standards vary widely, fires occur frequently, Some structures are poorly maintained and occasionally collapse without warning. A person living on the upper floors may need to climb several flights of stairs every day while carrying water, food, or supplies. There are no elevators, no air conditioning, no indoor plumbing for most residents. Despite these difficulties, life continues. Families adapt, children laugh and play in crowded streets. Neighbors share information, gossip, and assistance. Family occupies a central role within Roman society. The oldest male in a household typically possesses significant authority and is responsible for many important family decisions. Marriage is common. Children are highly valued. Large families provide support, labor, and security. However, childhood in ancient Rome can be unpredictable. Disease remains a constant threat. Medical knowledge is limited. Many children never reach adulthood. For those who survive, education varies greatly depending on wealth. Some children learn reading, writing, mathematics, and public speaking from private tutors. Others begin working at a young age to help support their families. As morning advances, streets become increasingly crowded. Merchants arrange goods outside their shops. Blacksmiths prepare tools. Tailors begin repairs. Teachers gather students. Laborers search for work. Rome is not simply a city. It is a living machine powered by the efforts of hundreds of thousands of ordinary people. The sounds of footsteps echo across stone streets. Donkeys pull carts loaded with supplies. Vendors call out special prices. The smell of baking bread drifts through the air. For many Romans, the morning's most important destination is the marketplace, and it is there that we will go next. As the morning sun rises higher above the city, Rome grows even busier. The streets become crowded with merchants, customers, laborers, travelers, and officials moving between countless shops and marketplaces. If there is one thing every Roman shares, regardless of wealth or status, it is the need for food. Feeding a city of more than 1 million people is no small task. Every day, enormous quantities of grain, vegetables, olive oil, wine, fish, fruit, and meat must somehow find their way into the capital. Without a constant flow of supplies, Rome could not survive. Fortunately for its citizens, the Roman Empire possesses one of the most sophisticated trade networks in the ancient world. Ships arrive from Egypt carrying grain. Wine arrives from Gaul. Olive oil comes from Spain. Goods from 3 continents eventually find their way into the markets of Rome. For many citizens, the marketplace serves as the center of daily life. The markets are loud, crowded, colorful, and often chaotic. Vendors call out prices. Customers negotiate deals. Children weave through crowds while animals occasionally wander through the streets. The smell of fresh bread mixes with herbs, fruit, livestock, and smoke from nearby cooking fires. To a modern visitor, the scene would likely feel overwhelming. Bread forms the foundation of most Roman diets. In fact, bread is so important that government officials often work to ensure grain remains available and affordable for the population. For poorer citizens, meals are often simple. Bread, olives, cheese, vegetables, and fruit provide most of their daily nutrition. For wealthy Romans, however, dining can become an elaborate experience. Lavish banquets sometimes feature imported foods, rare spices, and expensive wines from across the empire. Some wealthy hosts spend enormous sums attempting to impress their guests. Ancient writers occasionally mocked these extravagant displays of wealth. Interestingly, Rome possesses something surprisingly familiar to modern audiences: fast food. Throughout the city, Small establishments, known as thermopolia, serve ready-made meals to customers. Many Romans live in apartments without proper kitchens. As a result, purchasing prepared food becomes common. A worker can stop for a quick meal, much as someone today might visit a food stand or restaurant. Archaeologists have uncovered many of these ancient businesses. Their counters and serving areas remain visible even after nearly 2,000 years. As the day continues, business activity spreads throughout the city. Blacksmiths shape metal tools. Potters create household goods. Tailors repair clothing. Builders construct new structures. Teachers instruct students. Bankers manage financial transactions. Every profession plays a role in keeping Rome functioning. Perhaps nowhere is Rome's economic power more visible than along the Tiber River. Ships constantly arrive carrying cargo from every corner of the empire. Dock workers unload grain. Warehouse managers record inventories. Merchants inspect shipments. The movement of goods never truly stops. Without these ships and the people who operate them, Rome would quickly face shortages. The greatness of Rome depends not only on emperors and armies, but also on merchants, sailors, craftsmen, and workers. As midday approaches, many Romans begin seeking relief from the growing heat. And there is one place in particular where citizens from nearly every social class gather: the baths. As the afternoon sun shines over the city, many Romans begin making their way toward one of the most important institutions in everyday life: the public baths. To a modern observer, the word bath may suggest a simple place to wash. In ancient Rome, however, the baths are far more than that. They are community centers, meeting places, gyms, and social gathering spaces, all combined into one. People from nearly every level of society visit them: rich and poor, merchants and laborers, politicians and soldiers. Some bathhouses are so large that thousands of people may visit in a single day. Marble floors shine beneath the sunlight. Decorative statues lie in hallways. Steam rises from heated rooms. Visitors often begin with exercise. Running, wrestling, weight training, and various games help prepare the body before entering the baths. Afterward, they move through rooms of different temperatures. Warm rooms, hot rooms, cool pools. The experience is designed not only for cleanliness, but also for comfort and relaxation. Many important conversations happen here. Business deals are discussed. Political alliances are formed. News spreads quickly throughout the city. Yet even these magnificent facilities are only one part of Rome's vibrant social life. The people of Rome love entertainment. The most famous entertainment venue in the city is the Colosseum. Capable of holding more than 50,000 spectators, it towers over the surrounding streets. Long before events begin, crowds gather outside the entrances. Vendors sell food and drinks. Families arrive together. Excitement fills the air. The events vary greatly. Animal hunts, public spectacles, historical reenactments, and, of course, gladiatorial contests. Modern movies often portray gladiators as constant participants in deadly combat. The reality is more complicated. Gladiators are valuable investments and receive extensive training. Victorious gladiators can become celebrities known throughout the city. Some earn wealth, others gain admiration from thousands of spectators. Many Romans, however, prefer another form of entertainment entirely: the chariot races. At the Circus Maximus, enormous crowds gather to watch teams race around a massive track at incredible speeds. Supporters become intensely loyal to their favorite teams. Arguments break out. Crowds cheer wildly. Victories are celebrated. Defeats are mourned. The atmosphere resembles that of a modern sporting event. As afternoon gradually turns toward evening, crowds begin dispersing. Some return home, others continue socializing. Yet, beneath all the excitement lies a reality every Roman understands. Rome's greatness depends upon far more than the city itself. As the afternoon begins to fade, the true scale of Roman power becomes easier to appreciate. Rome is not merely a city, it is the center of an empire stretching thousands of miles across Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. Millions of people live under Roman rule. Connecting them is one of the most impressive transportation networks in human history. The Romans famously claimed that all roads lead to Rome. Thousands of miles of carefully engineered roads allow information, goods, and people to move throughout the empire. Yet, roads alone cannot support a civilization of this size. The true lifeline of Rome is the Mediterranean Sea. Every day, countless ships cross its waters, carrying grain, wine, olive oil, timber, marble, livestock, and luxury goods. Without these vessels, Rome would struggle to survive. The city consumes enormous quantities of food every year. Much of Rome's grain arrives from Egypt, the fertile lands surrounding the Nile. River-produced harvests capable of feeding entire neighborhoods of the capital. Large merchant ships sail northward carrying enough grain to feed thousands of citizens. Protecting these trade routes is one of the primary responsibilities of the Roman Navy. Warships patrol strategic waters and help suppress piracy. The sailors who serve aboard these vessels live demanding lives. Months may pass away from home as they travel throughout the empire. Storms, accidents, and uncertain weather remain constant dangers. Yet, the rewards of successful voyages often outweigh the risks. As evening approaches, many ships begin preparing for the night. Harbors grow quieter. Dock workers finish their tasks. The movement of cargo gradually slows. Yet somewhere beyond the horizon, other ships continue their journeys across the Mediterranean. The empire's strength lies not only in armies and emperors, but in its ability to connect people across extraordinary distances. As the final rays of sunlight disappear beyond the horizon, Rome begins to change. The noise of the market slowly fades. Merchants close their shops. Laborers finish their work. Families return home. For many citizens, the busiest part of the day has come to an end. Yet Rome does not become silent. More than 1 million people still occupy the city, and life continues long after sunset. Without electric lights, the ancient world experiences night differently than we do today. Darkness is deeper. The stars appear brighter. The glow of oil lamps replaces the light of the sun. For many families, evening is one of the few opportunities to gather together. The work of the day is complete. Meals are prepared. Stories are shared. Children play before sleep. Parents discuss the events of the day. The average Roman meal is often simple. Bread, olives, vegetables, and wine mixed with water. For wealthier citizens, dinner can become a lengthy social event. Guests gather together, food is served, and conversations may continue for hours. Elsewhere in the city, taverns remain active. Travelers stop for food and drink. Workers relax after long days. News and stories continue to spread through the community. The city may be winding down, but it remains very much alive. The sounds of conversation drift through the cool evening air. As the night deepens, many Romans prepare for sleep. The wealthy retire to comfortable homes. The poor often sleep in crowded apartments shared with family members. Outside, Rome grows quieter. The crowds that filled the streets throughout the day have largely disappeared. Only occasional voices break the silence. A cart rattles across distant stone. A dog barks somewhere beyond sight. The waters of the Tiber River continue flowing steadily toward the sea. Above the city, Countless stars shine across the night sky. The same stars watched by Roman merchants, soldiers, sailors, and travelers nearly 2,000 years ago. Few citizens can imagine that the empire surrounding them will one day disappear. Temples will crumble, emperors will be forgotten. The world they know will eventually fade into history. Yet, Rome never truly vanishes. Its influence remains visible throughout the modern world. Roman engineering, law, language, and architecture continue to shape civilization today. Perhaps that is what makes ancient Rome so fascinating. Not simply its armies, emperors, or monuments, but the millions of ordinary people who lived their lives beneath its shadow. And as we conclude our journey through ancient Rome, the lamps grow dim, the city settles into sleep, and the stars continue their slow journey across the sky. Thank you for joining Relax History. Sleep well, and until next time, continue exploring the stories of the past.